Hey collective, it is Zoe, aka Starry Sunbeam Tarot. I just got this delicious lavender oat milk latte and I just needed to share with y'all how good this is. I usually like to support my local coffee shops and not go to Starbucks, but I was craving some coffee. There was one in the grocery store and I thought, why not? And it is delicious. But anyway, today I have an exciting reading for you. At least I am excited. It's actually a very cozy, relaxing vibe. Self-care prescription, okay? I'm gonna play doctor. Just kidding. I'm just gonna draw some cards. I'm gonna give you some instructions, some advice to take care of yourself right now, channel into what spirit would like you to do to take care of your divine being, okay? It's like mind, body, soul vibes. And there will be 2 piles to choose from today. Okay, I usually do 3, but I'm a little short on time. So we have the Botswana Agate, the pink Botswana Agate. It's one of my favorites. And then just some simple clear quartz. Okay, so I will put the timestamps in the description and in the comments. If you need to just take a minute and breathe and pick your pile, feel free to go back. And I also put the crystals in the thumbnail now. So once you have your pile, click the timestamp and I will see you soon. Okay, lovelies, if you chose the pink Botswana Agate, then this will be your message. And before we get into it any further, I'd like to roll the astro dice and see if we can get any confirmation. So if you hear your sign, either your sun sign, part of your big 3, a prominent sign or element in your chart, whatever it is, it can be some extra confirmation for you if you're into astrology, but you don't have to be the signs that come out. This is just extra, okay? So let me roll in. Okay, so we have Aquarius, the 8th house, which is Scorpio energy, or you could have Aquarius in the 8th house, Sun and Aquarius in the 8th house, I'm hearing. And then we have the South Node. So that's really interesting. That's past life energy, sometimes karmic energy, okay? So, we'll see if that kind of makes more sense as we go along. So, let's see. First of all, I'm gonna pull from the Self-Care Oracle. These will give us some solid activities, habits, healing habits that'll help you guys out. Okay, for pile number 1, Spirit, what do you prescribe them self-care wise? Give pile 1 some advice on self-care. Ooh, that one flew out. Okay, we have spend time with friends. Okay, and that makes sense with the Aquarius. That's about community, that's about friends, that's a big part of Aquarius. Okay, we have meditate. I'm not surprised that came up in a self-care themed reading, of course. Ooh, that one's poking out. Let's see. Make a meal. Ooh, okay. So, and plan a vacation on the back. I'm getting that more with meditate, like a mental vacation, okay? So, with the spend time with friends and the make a meal, I'm almost thinking about a night with your friends where you make some dinner. That's just something that came out. Also, there's the moon phases on this card, and I'm wondering about if it would be beneficial for you to pay more attention to your moon sign and self-care activities that could be good for your moon sign. So, for example, let's say you're a Pisces moon, good self-care activities, being in the water, okay, being creative, listening to music. You can look up more about your moon sign and just kind of gather from there. Also, the 4th house in your chart can be a good indicator of like creature comforts. I actually made a blog post on my astrology Tumblr a little about this, so I'll link it down below if any of you are interested. Anyways, back to the message. Okay, so with make a meal, I'm also getting that some of you could be not meal planning as much, maybe eating more convenience or fast food takeout, which is fine. I mean, sometimes you're not going to want to cook every day, and that's okay. that's not what I'm saying, but there's something about your body craving some more vitamins, some more nutrients. You know, I'm seeing a lot of vegetables in this card, so I'm getting like eat your veggies vibes, okay? And I wonder about if any of you are into kitchen magic, like kitchen witches are a thing. You know, thinking about the metaphysical properties of what you're putting into your body, holistic remedies, things like this, okay? Just being really intentional about what you're eating, because it could be affecting your energy a little bit, you know? It's the time of year where sometimes you need to build up your immunity and fight off some colds and things like that. You know, it's spring, there's more allergies and stuff going that we're dealing with, so those are some good messages to start with. I'm actually going to pull a couple more just because this deck is like obviously a go-to for this kind of reading. Okay, positive affirmations. And some of the ones that I see: I love myself, healthy, happy, worthy, grateful, choose love, brave and beautiful. So some of you might want to install an app on your phone that gives you positive affirmations. Some of you might want to make it, you know, the lock screen on your phone. Some of you, you know, write it in the mirror. There's all sorts of different things you can do, right? Just because of all the words on her body, I'm thinking some of you might have a tattoo that's really grounding for you and kind of a positive affirmation, or that could be something that you'd consider in the future, you know? I will say there is an app called Finch. I use a lot. It's a self-care app. I can't recommend it enough. I usually don't follow through with apps that are tracking things daily, but just because you have a little pet bird, you can dress up and build like a birdhouse with all this furniture. It feels like Webkins, but for like grown adults who are trying to do their best, okay? And every time you open it, it gives you a positive affirmation, and I just think that's so cool. So there's lots of ways you can do this, okay? And then let's get one or two more. Okay, Spirit, anything else for pile number 1? Take a walk and flow like water. Because the take a walk came out on top of the meditate card, I'm thinking about just taking a walk where you're really... Have you ever heard of a color walk? It's where you just go on a walk and have a color in mind, let's say pink, and you know everything that's pink, or you know everything that's green. It's just a really grounding activity to do. It's a good way to recenter yourself, even if you're on like a work break, for example. Taking a 5-minute walk and doing this can be really beneficial for your mental health. And then flow like water. Some of you could literally be dehydrated, and this is a reminder, like, drink your water, okay? But swimming, incorporating water into your magic. Maybe you have a lot of water energy in your chart. I mean, I am seeing a lot of blue, and that makes me think of water signs. Lots of green, earth sign moment, you know. But I'm seeing a lot of different colors. It's a very colorful energy. I think chakra alignment comes to mind, but I don't even think you're like out of balance, at least to a degree where it's like, whoa, like I need to point it out. I feel like a lot of this is just having to do with your routine, and that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we're gonna go to tarot cards now. I want to get some more info about self-care. Okay. Oh, the Empress, love that. Could have some Taurus people here, maybe Libra, especially Taurus though. We have the 10 of Swords. We have the 3 of Pentacles. I'm going to get one more from this one. Okay, pile number 1, self-care. That's actually, or no, it is upright. Okay, and then we have the 9 of Swords. Okay, so there's some anxiety here. And then we have the 10 of Swords. That's feeling at the end of your rope. When it comes to there's some kind of ending here. And with the Empress being next to it, oh, okay, I'm actually getting a really specific message from this. There's something about And I feel this really deeply, so sorry if I start crying. Maybe I won't. Just mother wounds. There's something about, when you're really sick or you're really sad and there's just this ache in your heart that's like, I need my mom. Whether you have a mother figure in your life currently or you look back on it, it feels like there's some mother wounds. Okay. But the thing is, I feel like in your community, maybe with your friends, you do have maternal energies around you in your community that are there for you, even if it's not literally your mother. You could also be the Three of Coins. That makes me think, that's interesting that came out with the card I was talking about, like walking on your work break, because this makes me think of coworkers or people you co-create with. Like, there might be a need to kind of take some space and kind of just kind of like hands off some kind of team effort or project and just prioritize just like your mental health, taking a time out mentally. There's something about that. And with the anxiety, I do feel like there might be some anxiety around work. And with the summer coming up and with this flow like water card, it's making me think of just how healing it will be to be in the water. She's literally swimming. This card can mean a lot of different things, but it's making me think of the summertime being really healing for you, or early spring, Okay, we're gonna keep going. So what do I want to do next? I'm going to do some more tarot. Okay? Let's see what else. For pile number 1, Spirit, please. What is your self-care advice for pile number 1? Okay. We have the Knight of Wands. Anything else, Spirit, for pile number 1 with the tarot? Okay, got a few. Spirit's like, we got some things to say in a loving way. We have the Knight of Wands, the Five of Cups. That's interesting. That came out with on top of the Ten of Swords. And then we have the King of Pentacles and Fortitude, which is strength, of course. So, some of you could work from home or have an ability to kind of create your schedule or something like that. There's definitely an energy of something about just managing your work life, something about it's interesting because there's a need to ground, but I also feel like this kind of earthy energy from you. So, maybe getting back into that kind of element more, that energy more of grounding yourself. And with the Knight of Wands, there's air sign, not air sign, well, maybe, because I said that, fire sign energy. And it's interesting because there's a phoenix on the Ten of Swords, you see? And then I think this is a phoenix. At least it's giving that vibe with the Knight of Wands. There's a youthful energy too, for sure. And there's something about just going for something. I'm not sure why these cards together are stumping me. The Knight of Wands and the Fortitude go together for sure. Ooh, there could be grief of a father. Yeah, this is about a father. You have a very strong father figure type of guide, or maybe someone who's passed on. There's in a spiritual sense, there's a paternal figure watching over you and giving you strength. Okay. Yeah, so when it comes to taking care of yourself, self-care, you do have a lot of spiritual help at your disposal. All you have to do is ask. Okay, and then I'm going to pull some of these ice cream oracles. Okay, what does pile 1 need right now to regulate, to heal? Whoa, that was cool the way they came out. Candy loaded, social gathering, celebration, and special events. That's interesting with the spend time with friends earlier. Yeah. You know, maybe it's going to concerts or some kind of... I think that you might be getting like more opportunities to go to parties or events. So I don't know if you necessarily have to seek them out, but go. Like there's a need to be around other people, and that will revitalize you more than you think. Banana, walnut, cracking codes, learning, and observing. I read it as journaling as first, so keeping a journal could be relevant, but I do think that there's a need to be open to different methods of healing. Maybe you're in therapy and there's some new techniques you could be gaining from that. You maybe like even a self-help book could be helpful. Pumpkin spice, harvest, prosperity, and fortune. Maybe a money spell could be good for you, I'm hearing randomly. But I'm definitely getting with this having enough, feeling you have enough. Gratitude practice is coming through. Vanilla, status quo, tradition, and simplicity. Yeah, you can keep things simple. You don't want to overdo it with your routine, okay? That makes a lot of sense. Gonna get some more. So this deck I'm really excited about. It's newer. Okay. So let's give some self-care advice to pile number 1. That one's peeking out. Both of them? Okay, never mind. I don't... Okay. Spirit. I think I need to do the bridge shuffle. Spirit, can you give some healing self-care advice to pile number 1, or self-care prescription? Please, Spirit, for pile number 1. Okay, let's do one more. There we go. Right when I said one more. The candle and the fountain. It's pretty. I like that the candle looks a lot like the one I have. You can't see it, but I have a white candle going up there and some, like a pink lavender espresso candle, which... I have lavender coffee, and I didn't even think about that till now. That's so funny. Anyway, so we have the candle and the fountain, and I am going to read from the book because this deck is newer, like I mentioned, but candle magic is definitely coming through. Hope, I can tell that already. Okay. Oh, 57. The candle, sign of light and truth. Bring the light to your spirit. The candle signals that it's time to reveal the truth. You are coming to a moment of honesty with yourself to which you are ready to see your life in a different light. Your spirit is ready to create a new narrative for your life, where you are the hero of your story. I definitely get that with the Knight of Wands. This starts by realizing that, despite the uncertainty of the world, you have an active role in how you respond to circumstances. If you allow yourself to see things in this new light, you'll realize that the size of any problem is also a matter of perception. And maybe it is not as complicated as you think it is. Maybe the solution was always right in front of you. Try letting go of the narrative that you have so strongly clung to. Perhaps things are not as bad. Maybe that person is not so wrong, and possibly that outcome is not so tragic. A little shift in your perspective can open you up to a new world of possibilities. This card also means being more flexible and trying to see things from other people's perspectives. Remember, there are always two sides to any story, and you should aim to find the truth rather than trying to be right all the time. Also, keep in mind that two things can be true at the same time, and the person on the other side can be right too without invalidating your point of view. That's making me think of wise mind. That's actually a term I learned in therapy. This is something you can look up, dialectical behavioral therapy. I'm not saying you got to go and do this. Some of you might know what I'm talking about, and that could be some confirmation, but the active wise mind is you have emotion mind and rational mind, and it's the space between. It's not black and white, it's the gray area. And Yeah, it's definitely giving that. And then it says out of balance, acting stubborn, living in the dark, lying, denying yourself opportunities. In balance, it's finding light and truth, being honest, changing your perspective, opening yourself up to other points of view, feeling conscientious. Okay. I was just having some things pop up about the mother wounds I was talking about earlier. Because with the lying, I'm getting about, like, things that have been ingrained into you, like a lot of subconscious energy of lies you've told yourself or other people have told you that have maybe unknowingly manifested as, I'm hearing alienation, like feeling alienated from people, alienating yourself. And there's definitely a strong message here of being around friends, being around community, and knowing when people truly care and are trying to help, like just being more open to advice and to help. Not assuming someone has alternate motives. There's something about trust issues with friends. So we have mother issues. We have, like, I think that you need to expand your social circle, but I also think that the people in your social circle around you care more about you than you might realize. They might have more wisdom than you give them credit for. Things like this. And then we have the fountain. Right on the next page. Sign of joy and excitement. The wellspring of blessings is infinite. The fountain is a sign of joy. It is a message for your inner child to come out and play. Just as there are moments to be serious, there are also moments to play and be silly. And this card is so cute. You see the little cat playing in it. Order and discipline are necessary, but so are pleasure and delight. You don't need to be productive all the time, and you don't need to turn every hobby into a business. Take time to find an activity that is purely done for enjoyment without your having to be the best at it. Play, laugh, and feed your imagination to keep your spirit young and excited. Connect with the essence of joy because it is the fountain of inspiration for your dreams. Out of balance, being too serious, lacking imagination, feeling sad or jaded. In balance, we have listening to your inner child, experiencing joy, experiencing a heightened imagination, feeling fun. I love that. Definitely some inner child work as part of your self-care prescription. Gratitude, we had connecting with your community, going on color walks, just taking mindful walks, meditating, especially in nature, maybe cooking more, getting into channeling, just getting in touch with what your body is craving and what it needs. We have a lot of water energy, and especially with the fountain, that makes sense. Okay, water is healing. Whether it's being in water, drinking more water, we got that energy. We have possibly self-help books or just conversations around maybe self-care practices people around you do. I really think that there's people around you that would have some great advice. Getting out of the house, that's certainly a message here. Yeah. Okay. And to end off the reading, I'm going to pull some flower petals. I love this deck, and it always gives some nice messages to wrap up a reading. So for pile number 1, let's close out the reading, Spirit. Let's give them their flowers. Ooh. Okay, we have believe and trust and happiness. Lotus, stand still for now and listen to your life. Yeah, there's definitely the energy of meditation and getting to a flow state. Believe and trust and happiness. There's a lot of joy coming your way, and there's a lot of joy you can find in the present moment. There's definitely a call to do that. So that's your self-care prescription, pile number 1. As always, thank you for being here, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 2s. So let's get into your message. I'm going to pull some astro dice to see if any of your signs come out like new confirmation. Of course, you don't have to have these in your chart. So we have Taurus, the moon, and the 4th house, which also is Cancer energy. That's really interesting because This gives self-care already. Creature comforts. Ooh. Spirit's loud for your pile. Okay, let me get back to it. So yeah, Taurus and Cancer energy here. And of course, you were the clear quartz. Forgot to mention that. So let's get started. We're going to start with the self-care oracle, just so we can start with some clear methods of self-care for your self-care prescription. Okay, so Spirit, for pile number 2, what is your self-care prescription for them, Spirit? We have drink tea, look for fairies. I love this energy already. Some of you could work with the fae or just be drawn to the fae. Burning bowl ritual. Okay, there's some fire signs here. Connect with your womb. Definitely divine feminine energy. Watch a movie. Ooh, and with that, with look for fairies, it makes me think of watching a movie with fairies in it, or just like movies from your childhood, I'm getting especially. Connect with fire on the back. Lots of fire energy, fire magic. The burning bowl ritual, it makes me think of using cauldrons, cord cutting, burning a letter, things like this. Energy work. Okay, so chakra alignment. Watch a movie. Connect with your womb. Drink tea. I really like the drinking tea. I think that's a lot of ways. That's a very common way people like to relax, but also just being really intentional about the herbs you use in your tea. Not only their like nutritional, like healing values, but like metaphysical, you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, connect with your womb. There could be some need, something about your menstrual cycle could need some tending to. I know some people feel that when they're, during their cycle, that they feel more powerful with their magic, and that could ring true for you. Also, it could be a thing where your period lines up with like a full moon, or like when the moon is in your sign. That always happens to me. I always start menstruating when it's a full moon or the moon is in Scorpio, which is my moon sign. So just random, I'm throwing out there. But yeah, also she has her cat. It's giving like quiet nights at home. And with the fairies, I definitely feel like you have some fairy spirit guides. Love that. Okay, and we're gonna draw some tarot. Okay, so let's do a bridge shuffle. For pile number 2, Spirit, what's your self-care prescription? What's your self-care advice? Oh, there was one that fell from the bottom. Okay, Spirit. Ooh, I'm not gonna take all those, that's a lot. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, the Two of Swords. Some of you could work with Agate, don't have to. The Four of Wands. Okay, that's like homecoming energy, feeling at home. Sometimes special events, sometimes even weddings. There could be some kind of need to connect with people from your childhood even, although that's more Six of Cups energy. That's just something that came out. And there's literally fairies on this dang card. Okay, fairy energy is very prominent. And look at this little fairy Peter Pan fella. Okay, because I brought up Peter Pan. That could have been a movie you liked growing up because I mentioned the movie, but... Ooh, and the candle with the fire magic. That's interesting. Okay. Divine creation. I'm hearing... I'm definitely getting cord cutting because with the candle and then I see this, it's giving cord cutting. And if you feel like you need to do a cord cutting, you'll know who it would be. It would be someone that you really need to let go of to release. Could be even a member of your family, doesn't have to be. Something about connecting with a sister is coming up, or two sisters, or female friends. Doesn't have to be female either. Whenever I say feminine or masculine, that's not literally, that's like energy. We have the Four of Swords. Resting and recovering. I'm not surprised that came up in a self-care reading, but oh, I'm also getting Sleeping Beauty. There's a lot about like childhood films, Disney, things like that. I feel like that's come up before, interestingly enough. And the blue energy, that's air sign energy. We have some air signs here for sure. Yeah, I'm getting mainly air and fire. But okay. Yeah. Doing a body scan when it's time for bed, I'm getting, can be really helpful. That's when you kind of tense up different parts of your body. You start with your head or your toes, and then you work up or down. And it's a good way to ground and relax for sleep. There's definitely a need to work on your sleep. And whether that means literally your sleep schedule is off, or, you know, maybe even keeping a dream journal or being intentional about your routine going to bed, possibly to help with nightmares and things like that. I'm not necessarily getting nightmares, but I am getting that there might be someone you need to do a cord cutting with that's showing up in your dreams. Okay, so Spirit's just saying, if you resonate with that, consider a cord cutting. You don't have to literally get the candles and do the tie and cut it. You can do visualizations. The most powerful tool you have for magic is your mind, yourself. If you're stressing about different tools you need, if you can't afford it, don't worry about it. But I'm definitely getting a strong piece of advice of a cord cutting. And that doesn't even have to be with a person. It could be with a habit. Okay, there's lots of different ways. I'm definitely getting this pile is familiar with spell work or has some knowledge around that, okay? And then we're going to get into some ice cream oracles. This deck is so freaking cute. Okay, so for pile number 2, Spirit, let's get some more for their self-care prescription. Chocolate and vanilla swirl, complementary opposites, fairness and equality. Neapolitan, that flew out fast. Collaboration, teamwork, and resourcefulness. Yeah, cord cutting or co-creation. Lemon, clean, detoxify, release. That with collaboration. Such cord cutting energy here. Orange, enthusiasm, confidence, and courage. And that with the burning, like the fire, sacral chakra energy is coming through strongly. Sacral chakra healing, maybe some solar plexus as well. Yeah, interesting. Something about divine feminine energy possibly being out of balance. Collaboration, teamwork, resourcefulness. Working with your guides, I'm getting, is your guides, or like ask for help, like we'll meet you halfway, that type of vibe. Doing cleansing rituals for sure. And with like clean, detoxify, and release, I'm almost thinking about doing, and I'm no nutritionist, I'm no professional, so you're not going to want to take what I say. You're going to want to take what I say with a grain of salt, but sometimes it's good to just like fast for a day or just drink water, lemon water, or there's just something about kind of fleshing out your body in a sense. But again, everyone has different health needs. That's not going to be for everybody. We have the Alchemy of Spirit Oracle. I'm going to pull some messages from here. So for pile number 2, what's your self-care prescription, Spirit? What is your self-care prescription? Pile number 2. Ooh, kind of did not shuffle that very well. Let me do that again. What's your self-care prescription for pile number 2? There we go. Okay. Pile number 2, Spirit, what's your self-care messages for pile number 2? Ooh. We have the lighthouse, the waterfall. That's pretty. We have a moth on that card. Some of you could resonate with moths. We have butterflies. And then we have the panther. I love that card. Oh my gosh. Yeah, some of you could resonate like with different spirit animals, especially panthers or moths or butterflies. Okay, and I'm going to read from the book for this one because as I've mentioned, this is a new deck to me. So for lighthouse, let's see. There we go. Moment of vision. Hold your vision, trust the process. You are so close, but when you are reaching for your goal, that is when your spirit will be tested the most. Do I deserve this? Was this what I wanted? It is just when you are about to reach the goal that self-doubt arises as a big shadow, but it's time to trust the process. Don't let fear get in the way of your soul's purpose. I'm getting that some of you hold a lot of fear. Like there's something about holding on to negative energy in your womb. And I'm not saying that in a concerning way. I really think that there's some, and that doesn't have to be literally. There's just something about where you create from. There's some wounds that stem from creating new things, if that makes sense. A lot of self-doubt about growing, just growing in general, growing a project, growing an idea. Okay, so yeah, don't let fear get in the way of your soul's purpose, and don't let grandiosity of your own vision scare your heart and turn into anxiety. Instead, go little by little, see your vision as a sum of small pieces as a whole, and each day aim to only complete one little task. Before you know it, you'll be much closer to where you wish to be. Baby steps is coming through strongly. Yeah, being determined and persistent, aiming for the goal, having a strong will. And trusting yourself more, being able to rely on yourself, okay? Ground yourself, and you'll feel more confident in yourself. Grounding is a really important practice. And cleansing, kind of starting from the bottom up energy. Okay, we have the waterfall. That's 15. Let me get to that card. So pretty. I just have to show you. Beautiful. Okay. Moment of justice. There's some Libra energy here. Okay, purify the heart and the mind will follow. This is a moment of clarity and transparency. To be free, you need to be honest, starting with yourself. It can be fairly easy to become your own predator and convince yourself of narratives that are not real. I think that I got that earlier. Yeah, for sure. I think that you trick yourself sometimes into thinking that you're less than. But it's repeated, it's like you're parroting other people's narratives of you to yourself, and it's like you have the pen, you're writing the story, it's you know yourself better than anyone else. Take accountability for your mistakes, but don't dwell in self-disappointment for too long. Be kind, align with your true self. You're breaking free from patterns that perhaps come from generations before you. That makes sense with the womb. Yeah, okay, there's like issues with maybe like mothers and grandmothers, like the generation of women in your family. There's something about healing feminine energy. Okay, perhaps one day you're gonna have a child and you're gonna have to teach them a lot about ways to practice self-care, how to take care of themselves, how to be confident in yourself. And I'm not saying all of you are gonna have kids or when, but it starts with you, and what you're going to learn now is going to help you help other people in the future, even indirectly. Out of balance, we have disappointing yourself, judging yourself too much, lacking honesty, acting irresponsibly, making up excuses, being unfair. And we have a loud car or motorcycle outside. In balance, feeling justice in your actions, holding yourself accountable, taking responsibility, maturing, and being fair. It's making me think holding yourself accountable and taking responsibility, maybe having an accountability buddy, because that came out in terms of like teamwork and collaboration, and even if it's not, like even setting reminders on your phone, there's definitely a need to not necessarily write things down, but just make sure that you write down all your goals and all you're trying to accomplish, and acknowledge when you mess up, because everyone messes up. Progress is rarely linear. And then we have lastly the Panther, which is 39, is it? Yes. Spirit of vulnerability. You don't need to apologize for who you are. There's a lot of self-doubt, a lot of shame about the self. And Spirit loves you so much, and there's definitely a need to do some self-love type work. The Spirit of the Panther says, let yourself be seen. It is time to love yourself and let people love you just the way you are. It is only through vulnerability that true love can be accessed, but it is a risk, because it means you allow people to see you fully, including the parts of yourself that you are ashamed of. I definitely feel like Scorpio energy with that as a Scorpio moon. if you know, you know. And it can be scary, but it is the only way to open yourself up for healing. By being vulnerable, you stop feeling sorry for yourself and stop apologizing for who you are. Okay? Stop apologizing for who you are. Stand in your authenticity because it inspires others. And you're going to meet the best people that are most aligned with you once you do that. And we're going to end the reading with some flower petals. Just some healing messages to wrap things up. Okay, for pile number 2, Spirit, let's give them some flowers. Peony. Prosperity can be assured if you care well for tomorrow. I'm definitely getting that energy of doing the work now so you can reap the benefits later. You know, it all starts with today. It all starts with baby steps sometimes even. Poppy, remember who you wanted to be. I'm thinking of like as a child, tuning into what would your inner child say about who you are right now? What are ways you can honor them and do things that they wanted you to do, honor dreams or ideas, things like that. And finally, we have Snapdragon, listen with care, speak with kindness. I like that a lot. It's like speak with kindness to yourself, but also when you have these judgmental thoughts, just have self-compassion and reframe. Okay, there's a lot of like reframing energy here that would be helpful for you. So every time you have a negative judgment, a negative thought, write it down and write down the opposite thing and say it to yourself. You know, for example, maybe something you write is, I'm not good at school. And then you write down, I'm a great student. Things like that. That wasn't the best example, but you see what I'm saying. So that's your self-care prescription. Okay, there's inner child work. There's connecting with like energy work, fire rituals, cord cutting. Okay, cleansing. But you got this, okay? And I love you. And comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.